we are all stuck at home, so we have to find some decent background.
Yeah, yeah.
So we have been just struggling with getting into online because we have not worked online at all.
Yeah.
As has always, one-to-one interaction with our clients. So it has been tough. We are coping. We are learning. It's a learning trial and error way. We have started services. So from the last week of towards the end of March, we started offering services online.
Yeah.
Gradually we are increasing the scope of our services because we want to be absolutely sure that we are doing it the right way. So,
and can I ask, what are those online services that you are offering at the moment?
So for now, we are offering, what we have done is we are offering free consultation and free counseling services for those affected with dyslexia or learning disorders. So that is what we are offering now. So, and of course, if people want to go in for a full or a long-term counseling, then we are offering paid counseling too.
Yeah.
But we started with offering 15 minutes of free consultation and half an hour of free counseling sessions. And then people take it from there if they feel, if they're happy with that, satisfied, if they have their queries answered, or if they get some, solution to their perceived problems, it's fine. Some of them then say that we would want to go in for long time paid consultation or paid counseling.
So can I ask,
that's what
do you mind saying the name of your organization on this recording?
Maharashtra Dyslexia Association.
And one of the services you offer is an emotional counseling service.
I beg your pardon, your voice broke off, so I could not hear you.
One of the services you offer is an emotional counseling service.
So yes, one of those services is emotional counseling, and also for students with behavioral issues. So that would be more, counseling and consultation for the parents as to how to deal, because you with dyslexia you also have comorbid disorders like attention deficit, hyperactivity disorder. Sometimes you have behavioral issues also, which may be which usually the behavioral issues are secondary to dyslexia, but then parents don't know how to deal or handle the situation, so they need that guidance.
So what services does the Maharashtra organization offer, please?
Okay, so just to tell you briefly about Maharashtra Dyslexia Association, it's a parent body. It started in 1995 with a group of parents coming together, and these are parents of children with dyslexia, of course. And in 1995, even today we say we are in the very nascent stage where India is concerned. So you can imagine what it must be in 1995. However, these parents came together and they approached the state government of Maharashtra education department and managed to convince that there is something called dyslexia and learning disability, and that these children have a genuine problem that needs to be addressed. And if they get the right kind of help, support and accommodations, they can be, contributing citizens. And so in 1996, the education department passed a general resolution stating that those identified with learning disability would get certain accommodations. And that is how we started. So they started with advocacy, the parents, then awareness, creating awareness amongst the schools to begin with and the general population. And then we started with diagnostic and remedial services in 1998-99.
Okay.
98, yeah. So we are into advocacy, awareness, teacher training. We do workshops for parents. We provide assessment and diagnostic services, remedial services, counseling services, consultation.
I guess your first area of campaigning was to the government itself to get.
Yes, that's what. Yes,
How
it started
open
with
were they to
advocacy.
accepting dyslexia in the first place?
I'm sorry again.
Sorry, yeah.
Yes.
How open was the government to accepting the existence of dyslexia in the first place in 1995?
This is just one state, Maharashtra. Luckily, there was somebody in the Maharashtra in the ministry at that time who understood what dyslexia is, because he had somebody close to him who had dyslexia. So it wasn't difficult to get them to accept and pass the general resolution. Yeah. Though I doubt how many in the ministry or in the education department understood at that time, but because a minister was involved, we had it. But where India is concerned, until 2016 December, other than Maharashtra, so we were the pioneers, Maharashtra Dyslexia Association. Because of Maharashtra Dyslexia Association, the state of Maharashtra was the pioneer in India where dyslexia was concerned and learning disabilities. It was followed by 4-5 other states, and it was just these 5 states, 5 to 6 states in India till 2016 December that recognized specific learning disability, dyslexia, and gave accommodation, provided accommodations. It was in 2016 December that the government of India recognized learning disability, specific learning disorder, and dyslexia as one of the disabilities to be included in the Rights for Persons with Disability Act. So we have the Rights for Persons with Disability Act 2016, where dyslexia has been included. However, it's like more than 3 years now. A lot to be done because it's all there on paper, but implementation is what needs to be done.
Yeah. Has it made much of a difference to how schools operate, for instance?
Not much, because those who want to help and reach out to the students have been doing it all along.
Yeah.
So those who want to help, those who understand what it is, have always been helping, whether there has been a law or not. And those who don't want to will always find some loopholes. So even though we have the act, there is nothing specified in the act that, if you do not follow, or if you do not reach out to the students, if you do not give them accommodations, these are the repercussions, or this is the penalty. It is not very clearly stated. And even if it is stated, it's not being carried out. So, schools, educational institutions are not taking it seriously.
And
have not yet taken it seriously.
Even if there is a nationwide law, if there's no dyslexia association in that particular state, then how can that law?
We hardly have any dyslexia associations. There is one Maharashtra Dyslexia Association, a Madras Dyslexia Association, which is in the south. Then there is a dyslexia association in New Delhi, which is near New Delhi, Noida, which is the capital city. That's it. There was a Goa Dyslexia Association, but it's not functioning anymore. They want to revive it, because the thing is that you need committed people also to run the organization. Yeah. That is very, very important.
Yeah. And can I ask? I mean, I don't mean this in a negative way, but I believe that there is what you might call a certain amount of economic inequality in India. So there are some very rich people and very poor people.
Yes, absolutely.
How does this impact upon the people who are helped by dyslexia associations? Do you need money to be helped by associations?
So where Maharashtra Dyslexia Association is concerned, it is a non-government organization as well as a not-for-profit organization. So no child is deprived, or no adult with dyslexia is deprived of services because they are not economically stable, or because so no, so we have a graded scale. We also provide free services to a lot of people who cannot afford.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And how much?
we charge. So our fees are as per the ability to pay.
Yeah, okay. So that seems quite fair, actually.
Yes.
How much
And
bigger
of
is
course,
it?
we have well-wishers. So we do have well-wishers. So we get donations. However, now because of the pandemic, we don't know.
Yeah. And as the government has accepted, now the government has accepted dyslexia. Does the government provide anything for people with dyslexia?
No, nothing. Nothing from the government as of now.
Okay, okay. Is there any stigma surrounding dyslexia in India?
Yes, we could say that. I think it's all over, not just India, because of lack of awareness of what dyslexia is.
Mm-hmm.
So the people, because of this lack of awareness, or because they do not understand what dyslexia actually is, people shy away from acknowledging that they have dyslexia or their child has dyslexia,
Yeah.
because they are always, in that confused state of mind as to whether one should reveal or not. How would, the people to whom they are revealing take it, accept it? So a lot of parents would only, speak about it to the school because they need accommodations.
Yeah.
Other than the immediate family, nobody, they would not even reveal to anybody in their, extended family, or even at times grandparents would not know, or, uncles and aunts would not know that the child has dyslexia.
And of course, because India has many different languages in it, I guess it's harder to spot phonological processing difficulties in some Indian languages than it is in other Indian languages. Is that the case?
So I think where phonological awareness is concerned, it doesn't make any difference, because phonology is phonology. It has all to do with sounds. But what we have found is, like, if you were to do a phonological awareness test,
Mm-hmm.
in any, be it in any language, if there is a problem with phonology, it would be easily identifiable.
Mm-hmm.
But because the languages in India, especially when it comes to Hindi, which is the official language, and Marathi, which is the state language of Maharashtra, they are very, there is a one-to-one correspondence, like what you say you write, what you see you read.
Yeah.
Unlike English, which has its digraphs and diphthongs. So usually children who are receiving education through their mother tongue, which is Hindi or Marathi, they would go unidentified for quite some time, but ultimately they would falter.
Yeah.
After grade 4, they definitely falter, because because then again the script in Hindi Marathi, which is the Devanagari script that we call it, becomes complex. So when the script gets complex, the reading issues and spelling issues surface.
Could you explain what that means, please? The script becomes complex.
In the sense that, like how you have blends in English, so you would have two letters in the Devanagari script that blend together, so they look a little different. Whereas, in English, B and L would still look like the B is B and the L is L, is just like how you would blend the B and L to say bill. But when it comes to the Devanagari script, it looks very different, because it is half the letter of B and half the letter of,
Oh,
L.
wow. That's just cruel.
It merges. Yes. So the blends merge. The two letters merge to make a blend. So the appearance changes.
And does
So
that
the
happen in
appearance
other,
changes.
does it happen in other languages, like in Urdu or something?
Urdu relatively is complex to read, in the sense that you need to have a good understanding of the Urdu language. So if you have a good vocabulary, then you can read Urdu. Otherwise, you will struggle with Urdu.
Right.
So because there are no indication in Urdu to say whether you have to say the long sound or the short sound, or whether it's a closed sound or a naming sound. You don't have those indications. Whereas in the Devanagari script, you do have those indications. Like if you have to say A, there is the script very clearly, indicates that you have to read it as A, or you have to read it as O or A.
Yeah.
But it is not so in Urdu.
Okay, right. I'm glad I don't speak Urdu, although English isn't exactly the easiest language to decode. Can you tell me very quickly? I don't want to keep you too long. You're very kind giving me your time. Could you tell me, in the 25 years since the Maharashtra Dyslexia Association?
Yes, it will be 25 years in 21.
25 years. How much have things changed? Have you noticed a change in education, society, attitudes?
So compared to when we began in, all those years back to now, definitely there is a change. There is a lot more awareness. There are parents, educated parents, who do their Google search and do come and approach. So a lot of time it is the parents who approach the school, the teachers, and make them aware that our child has difficulty. We are observing this, and at home when we are working with our child. So we are seeing those changes. We have some parents directly contacting us, some who come to us through schools, and some who come to somebody they know who has observed the child and has said, my child also has the same issues. Maybe your child could also be facing that. Why don't you approach MDA and seek a consultation? So there is a lot of change, and especially the change after the movie Tare Zameen Par, Stars on Earth. Have you heard of that movie?
I haven't actually. No. If you could, I'll provide a link in the video to that as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Disney has its copyrights for the English subtitles. It's in English it is called Stars on Earth.
Stars on Earth.
Tare Zameen Par. English it is Stars on Earth.
Okay.
English it is Tare Zameen Par. And Maharashtra Dyslexia Association was involved in the making of the movie. So you should see that movie. It was released in December 2007. Okay. So we have seen that after the release of the movie, because it's a commercial movie with popular star cast. So that movie had a lot of impact. Helped us in creating awareness in the population. However, the thing is, we don't know how many of them saw the movie, took the movie seriously. Let me put it that way. That it is talking about an issue of, and it's talking about a disorder that needs attention. Yeah. A lot of people saw it as a movie and that's it. Yeah. But there were people who had children with dyslexia, or who had children struggling with learning. I can't say who had children with dyslexia, because they were the parents who could see those certain signs and characteristics in their children when they saw the movie. And a lot of adults contacted us. So we had a lot of phone calls and emails after the release of the movie. Mainly phone calls and emails from adults saying that we could see a whole childhood in that movie. It reflected our life. So do you do assessments? I think I have dyslexia. Can you assess and, confirm whether I too have dyslexia? Because the movie was like a rerun of my life. So, and that is what made it popular outside, and that is what, Disney uh, took, now has the copyrights. It was released in 2008 it was premiered in 2008 at the International Dyslexia Conference in US, in Washington, D.C.
On that heartwarming story, I think I'll stop. That's really lovely to hear. It really is. Do you mind if I put the link to your Dyslexia Association when I release the video? Is that
Oh,
okay?
yes. Oh, yes, of course. Please do.
You
don't have to ask. Thank you.
That's right. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate that. I know it's later in the day for you.
I hope you got what you wanted.
Absolutely. It's really good talking to you. It really is. And I hope that we can keep in touch and that we can.
Oh, yes, surely. Of course.
Anyway.
Of course. Yeah. Yes. Of course. Definitely. Thank you so much, Martin.
Thank you so much, Masra. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, okay. Same here. Bye. Yeah. Bye.